Welcome to video 25, which is a video tutorial on the exam questions that come up in Unit 3 AQA Higher regarding algebra and usually shape linked in. Okay, so just a reminder, you should have seen video 24, made some revision notes. Now you should be in a position to answer these questions. Now, all of these questions, the algebra is fairly straightforward and it's linked in with shape and space. You must really be getting these questions right if you are trying to achieve higher than a C. So let's take a look. As always, pause the video, have a go at the question, then mark your work against mine and correct if need be. Question 1. Okay, so we're asked to identify an expression, equation, formula, identity. Well, firstly, let's go for the easy thing. An equation is something you solve with one variable and has an equal sign. This is a typical two-step linear equation that you can solve, has one variable, x, and has an equal sign. So this is certainly our equation. Nice and easy one. Okay, now a formula is something we use to find the value of a variable, and it has more than one variable in it. Now, the equation with something with more than one variable is either this one or this one, but a formula must have an equal sign. So this one is a formula. Okay, something without an equal sign is called an expression. It's an algebraic expression. It has algebra, it has numbers, it has operations, but it has no equal sign. So this one's an expression. And lastly, we can identify an identity sign with 3 bars instead of an equal sign. And what that means is, for any value of our variable, the left-hand side is always the same as the right-hand side, no matter what x. Okay, so this is an identity. Just to make it clear why it's different from an equation, well, only one x solves the equation, whereas any x works to make both sides the same here. Okay, next question, pause the video, have a go, mark your work against mine. Here we go. Okay, a simple question here. It talks about the perimeter of the triangle being 27 centimeters. It tells you some algebraic expressions for the sides, and it asks you to do the following. You must set up and solve to find y. Okay, well, let's just do it very easy. Let's pick it off one by one. If we take that y and we add it to y plus 4, that side, and we add it to 2y minus 1, the length of the sides must add up to 27. Write that first line. Don't try and do it in your head. You may make a mistake and you'll get a mark for writing this. Do not jump steps and try and collect in one go. Now collect. Okay, you've got 1y plus another y plus 2y, and that will give you 4y. And then you've got positive 4, subtract 1, which is positive 3. So you write plus 3 is equal to 27. Now that's a two-step linear equation. To undo the plus 3, subtract 3 from both sides. So you get 4y is equal to 24. And then to get 1y, divide both sides by 4. Okay, and you get y is equal to 6. So y is 6 centimeters is the answer. Now, before you run ahead and do anything, make sure you substitute back in and check. That would then be 6, that would be 10, that would be 2 times 6, take away 1, which is 11. Do they add up to 27? Indeed they do. You know you've done it right. Okay, next question. Pause the video, have a go, mark your work. Okay, again, this is a set up and solve an equation. You know that AB is a straight line. A to B is a straight line, and angles in a straight line add to 180. So if we add this, we'll get 180. Do not jump steps and try and collect all in one go. Set up your work in nice and clearly. It's 4 marks here, so do everything nice and slowly. If we take the 2x, then we add x plus 10, then we add x minus 30. And we know that the sum of those angles must add up to 180. Okay? Now, and only now, do you start collecting like terms. 2x's plus another x is 4x. So we've got 4x. And 10 subtract 30 is minus 20. So subtract 20 and you get 180. Now we've got a two-step linear equation to solve. Add 20 to both sides to undo this subtract 20. So add 20 to both sides. We get 4x is therefore 200. And divide both sides by 4. Write down to the examiner what you're doing. Divide both sides by 4. You get x is therefore 50. So the answer is 50 degrees. Again, it's a 4-mark question. Don't lose marks by not checking. If x was 50, that would be 100, that would be 60, and that would be 20. They indeed add up to 180 as required. Next question, as always, pause the video, have a go, mark your work or make corrections. Okay, it says that we've got a regular pentagon here. So a regular pentagon, and we are told it's divided into 5 congruent triangles. That means all of these triangles are identical. So this must be x, this must be x, this must be x, that must be x. Okay, it asks us to work out the value of x. Angles round a point add to 360. So 5 lots of x must add to 360. So divide both sides by 5 to work out what x is. And you would get x is simply 360 divided by 5, which is 72 degrees. Okay, then it says work out the value of y. Now, we know that this is a regular pentagon, and each of these angles has been divided up equally into 72, 72, 72, 72, 72, etc. We also know, okay, that these sides must be the same. Okay, so we've effectively got an isosceles triangle in each one. So to get y, well, that one also must be y. And you must know you've got your x is 72, angles in a triangle add up to 180. So 72 plus 2 lots of y must be 180. Okay, and solve a two-step equation from there. Subtract 72 from both sides. So you get 2y is equal to 108. And divide both sides by 2 to get what 1y is. Y is therefore 54 degrees. Okay, 54 degrees. And you're done. Okay, have a go at the next question as always. Pause the video, have a go, mark your work or correct against mine. Okay, it simply says that we've got 2 rods. One is a length 5x plus 3, the other is x plus 11. It says work out an expression for the total length of the rods in terms of x. Simplify your answer. Very easy for 2 marks here. So you've got your first rod is 5x plus 3, and you add on x plus 11. Okay, so that's the length of the total rods, but you must simplify your answer. So you've got 5x plus another x, so you've got 6x, and you've got a positive 3 plus 11, which is positive 14. So you've got plus 14. So it's simply 6x plus 14. Easy, easy, easy 2 marks. Okay, we're continuing the same question, but just different parts of it. Pause the video, have a go, mark your work. Okay, it says the diagram now has 3 rods. The length of these 3 rods is equal to the length of the 2 rods placed end to end. work out a formula for y in terms of x, give your answer in its simplest form. Okay, it's 3 marks here. Just do the obvious. Firstly, work out the total length of these 3 rods. Okay, so as we did before, 3 rods. Okay, their length is you add the 3y minus 2, you add the 2x, and you add the y. And you see what you get. Okay, so let's firstly just add the y's. 3y's plus a y is 4y. So this would be 4y. And then you've got a plus 2x. Let's write the 2x next. Plus 2x. And then you've got the subtract 2. So they are the length of 3 rods. Now you know 2 rods. You've done that already. These two added together were 6x plus 14. So they were 6x plus 14. Now you know these two lengths are the same. So you can write an equation down. So let's write our equation here. You can write that 4y plus 2x minus 2 must equal the same length as 6x plus 14. Now it wants a formula of y in terms of x, i.e. it wants y the subject of the formula. So make y the subject of this formula. I'd subtract 2x off both sides. Let's do it in stages. So I get 4y equals 4x plus 14. Okay, and I'd still have my minus 2 there, don't forget. So I've just subtracted 2x off both sides. Then I would add 2 to both sides. So I would get 4y would equal 4x plus 16. That would remove that minus 2 and add 2 onto this side. And then I would divide everything by 4, finally. Divide everything by 4. Y is therefore that divided by 4, which would just be x, and plus 16 divided by 4, which would just be 4. So y is equal to x plus 4 is your answer. Again, quite a straightforward question here. These two parts were very easy. Then equating them was very easy. That would probably get you 2 marks. Going on to solve it correctly would get you the 3rd mark. That's the hardest bit. But at least write down the easy 2 marks. Okay, new question. Pause the video, attempt the question, get an answer, mark your work or correct it. Here we go. Okay, it says, explain why the exterior angle of a regular pentagon is 72. Well, there's a rule we should know. I'm just going to draw in all the exterior angles here. An exterior angle is the angle outside the shape made if you continue one of the sides of the shape. So here's an exterior, here's an exterior, here's one, and here's one. They are all the same on a regular pentagon. So each of these is P, and we know that 5P, all the exterior angles of any polygon, but in this pentagon in particular, always add to 360. So P must be 360 divided by 5, which is 72 as required. So P is equal to 72 degrees. Now the next part tells us that 2 of these identical regular pentagons are joined. Work out the size of angle X. Well, just from above, if this one's 72, okay, we know the interior and exterior must add up to 180, so this one must be 108. Okay, so this angle must be 108, that's an interior of that pentagon, that must be 108. So X must be equal, angles around a point add to 360, so it must be 360, subtract 108, subtract 108. And you will get 144 degrees, which looks reasonable, okay? And again, quite a nice easy question. Next one, pause the video, have a go, and then check your work and correct if needed. Okay, it says that the diagram shows 2 regular polygons, okay, Regular means that interior angles are all the same and so are the exterior. It says A has 12 sides and an exterior angle of 2x. B has exterior angle of 3x. Work out the number of sides in B. Well, fact you know, exterior angles of any polygon add to 180. You should know that. Now, if shape A has 12 sides, it has 12 exterior angles as well. It has an exterior angle for each of its sides. So 12 lots of each of the exterior angle, which is 2x, okay, must sum up to 360. Okay, so that's 24x must equal 360, and to find x, you divide by 24, divide both sides by 24, you would get x must equal 360 divided by 24, which is 15. So you know x is 15. So this exterior angle in particular, you know, is 45. And you know this is a regular shape, so to work out how many sides it has, you can work out how many exterior angles it has, and that will tell you. So if you do 360, the sum of all the exteriors divided by the size of each one, which is 45, you would get 8. So the shape has 8 sides. So it's an octagon, a regular octagon, 8 sides. And that's 5 easy marks there if you just keep your wits about you and you know your rule that exterior angles of a polygon add to 360. That should have been, I made a mistake there, sorry. Add to 360, but I used the right formula later on. The exterior angles of a polygon add to 360. Next question, pause the video, have a go, mark your work. Okay, it's a substitution question. It tells you the cost in pence for an advert is 10 times the number of words plus 20 times the area on pictures. It says work out the cost of an advert that has 20 words and an area of 9 centimeters squared. So the cost, and it says give it in pounds. Okay, so that's a key point. The cost is therefore 10 times 20 words plus 20 times the area, which is 9. So you do 10 times 20, you get 200. You add 20 times 9, which is 180, and you get 380 pence. But it's asked for your answer in pounds, so you must write £3.80 to get the full answer and the full marks there for 3 marks. Okay, next question, pause the video, have a go. Mark your work. Okay, it says there is a formula that works out, converts Fahrenheit to centigrade. It tells you that x Fahrenheit is the same as x centigrade, work out the value of x. So that means if I substitute in here x here, there is some number x, so that the Fahrenheit and the Celsius are exactly the same. Okay, so let's just substitute x and solve. X must equal to 5/9 x minus 32. Okay, I would times both sides by 9 to remove this divide by 9 here. So I would times both sides by 9, and I would get that 9x is therefore equal to 5x minus 32. Okay, then I would expand the bracket, so I get 9x must equal 5x minus 5 times 32, which is 160. And then I would collect all the x's, so I would subtract 5x off both sides, so I would get 4x must equal negative 160. And then x, to get x, I must divide both sides by 4, and I would get minus 40. X is therefore minus 40, and they're both the same, degrees Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius. Okay, next question, pause the video, have a go, mark your work. Okay, the diagram shows a semicircle, radius r, and a rectangle. The perimeters are equal. Work out the value of r. Right. Let's start with the easy one. Let's work the perimeter of the rectangle. Perimeter is the distance around the shape. If that's r, and if that's 3, that's 3. The total perimeter is r, this r, plus 3, plus r, plus that 3. And collect everything together, we have an r plus another r, so we'd have 2r, and we've got a plus 3 plus another 3, which is plus 6. So that's the perimeter of that shape. What's the perimeter of this shape? Well, this bit here, the curved bit, is half a circle, it's a semicircle. And you know that the circumference of a whole circle is 2 times pi times r. So the circumference of half a circle must be pi times r. So this bit here must be pi times r. It's half 2 times pi times r. But don't forget, you must add in that distance and that distance, which are 2 radiuses, okay, to work out the whole thing. So this perimeter would be pi r, which is the curved bit, plus 2 lots of radius. Now, you are told the perimeters are equal, so make these expressions equal to each other and try and solve. Pi r plus 2r must equal 2r plus 6. Now, you wanted to work out the value of r, okay? So it's about making r the subject of solving for r. There's a 2r on both sides. I could subtract 2r off both sides of the equation, and it would tidy things up nicely. I would just be left with pi r on that side and 6 on that side. Okay? And we're nearly done then, because if I want to work out r is then 6 over pi, 6 divided by pi, and I can leave my answer like that or round it to 1 dp, I would get 1.9 centimeters, for example. Okay, next question as always, pause the video, have a go, mark your work or make corrections. Okay, ABCD is a quadrilateral. Angles AB are in the ratio 1 to 2. So the angle A, I don't know what it is, so let's use algebra if I call it x. Because A and B are in the ratio 1 to 2, whatever A is, B is double it. So if A is x, B must be 2x. It says angle C is 30 more than angle B, so this angle here must be 2x plus 30. And it says angle D is a right angle, so this is 90. It says work out the size of angles A, B, C and D. Well, the rule you should know is angles in a quadrilateral add to 360. So let's add them up. X plus 2x plus 2x plus 30 plus the 90 must add up to 360. Now collect all like terms. We've got ourselves an x plus a 2x plus another 2x. So in total we have 5 x's. And in the numbers side of things we have 30 add 90, which is 120. So plus 120 must equal 360. A simple two-step linear equation that we should be able to solve. Subtract 120 off both sides, and you would get 5x must be 240. And then to get x, divide both sides by 5, so it'd be 240 over 5, divided by 5, and you'll get x is equal to 48 degrees. Okay, x is 48. Now it didn't ask what x was, it asked what the angles are, so finish off by saying angle A is 48 degrees, it was x. Angle B is twice that, which is 96 degrees, and angle C is twice that plus 30, so it's 126 degrees. If you add those together, 48 add 96 add 126 plus 90, you get 360, which is the sum of the angles in a quadrilateral. So you know you've done it right. Okay, next question, as always, pause the video, have a go at the question, and mark your work afterwards. Okay, now we are asked to show that the area of this here is given by this expression. Now, the first thing to do is just look around and see if you can spot anything easy to do. It says that there is an overlapping square in the middle of 9 centimeters squared. Because that's a square, you know that its height must be 3 and its width must be 3 centimeters, that is. So that's very, very important to us then. Okay, so this is going to help us work out the area of A. Okay, and now let's try and work out the shaded area. Now, we know that this height here, if this whole height is x and this is 3, this extra height here must be x minus 3. It absolutely has to be. Okay, now we also know that if this width is x plus 1 and that little bit is 3, well, this width must be x plus 1 subtract 3, which is x minus 2. Okay, so the area of A is x minus 2 times x minus 3. Okay, and if you do a bit of expanding brackets, x times x is x squared, x times negative 3 is negative 3x, negative 2 times x is negative 2x, and negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. You get the answer once you tidy up. X squared, these two combine to subtract 5x plus 6. So what seemed was a difficult question, and it could have been, is actually quite easy. As long as you spotted this was a square, you read carefully, then you knew that was 3, that was 3. Then you thought to yourself, okay, let's work out the dimensions of this then in order to work out its area. Well, if this whole distance was x plus 1 and this bit is 3, this must be x plus 1 subtract 3, which is this. And if this whole distance was x plus 1 and this little bit, if this whole distance is x and this little bit is 3, this height must be x minus 3. And then times it out and you get the right answer. Okay, next question, pause the video, have a go, mark your work. Okay, so factorising this, what divides into x squared and x and 10x? Well, x does, so factorise out x, you're left with x plus 10. An easy mark there. Okay, what about this one? Either you spot it's a difference of 2 squares. Okay, so anything where it has 2 squared numbers subtracting always factorises to a plus the number, that a squared minus b squared always factorises to a plus b, a minus b. So this would factorise to y plus 6, y minus 6. Okay, or if you're not familiar with the difference of 2 squares, write it out as a proper quadratic: y squared minus 0y or plus 0y minus 36. Two numbers that multiply to negative 36 and add to 0, or plus 6 and minus 6, hence y plus 6, y minus 6. Solve this equation here. Well, let's get all the w's together. Let's add w to both sides. So you get 6w plus 6 is equal to 9. Then subtract 6 off both sides. So you would get 6w is equal to 3. And then divide both sides by 6. And you get w is 3 over 6, which is a half. Okay, 3 marks for that one. Quite easy there. And last one, this is quite a hard one now. Solving this equation, the way I would do it is think about fractions. If you're adding fractions, you must make the denominators the same. What does 4, 3 and 2 go into? Well, they all go into 12. So make that over 12. Make that over 12 and make that over 12. Let's do the easy thing. What do I have to times the 2 by to get 12? 6. So multiply the 3 by 6 and get 18. Keep your plus in there. What did I have to multiply the 3 by to get 12? 4. So you have to times the top by 4. So it would be 4 times the whole of x minus 5. And what did I have to times the 4 by to get 12? 3. So you have to times the whole of the top by 3. Okay, now you're adding the same things. This amounts to 12 plus this amounts to 12 is 18 lots of 12. You can say from that line that therefore the tops must be the same. So 3 times 2x plus 3 plus 4 x minus 5 must equal 18. Now it's a case of expanding the bracket, simplifying and solving. So I'm going to change my pen colour here, expand that out. I get 6x plus 9 plus 4x minus 20 you get 18. Now collect like terms, 6x is 4x is 10x, 9 subtract 20 is minus 11 and you get 18. Then add 11 to both sides, so you would get 10x is equal to 29, and then divide by 10, x is equal to 2.9. And that's it. I would substitute that back into check, but that is the right answer. So they're all the questions that have come up on using simple algebra and mixed in with geometry. I hope you found the following useful in your revision for Unit 3 AQA Higher. Thank you for watching.